Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Not Perfect Zen. This is some of the ways that you can tag your tiles if you happen to post them on social media. And you can also send them to me. I've had people do that also. Today I'm going to do just a classic tile. I've been doing a lot with botanical flowery type patterns for the last few videos and just decided for today that I'm going to do just a classic tile. And the patterns I'm going to use are Veerap by Debbie Raaen, CZT, Garlic Cloves by Jacquelien Bredenoord, and Seedwayz by Carla, Jooren, CZT. Now, most patterns that I do, I try to make sure that you can find them either on tanglepatterns.com or musterkel.de. But this one is on Instagram. However, I'll show you how it works, and it's an easy one to do once you understand it. So we're going to use a 3.5 inch tile. I have my graphite pencil, a blending stump, and I'll be using a Micron 01. Okay. I am grateful to have the ability to teach on YouTube. I'm grateful for my supplies, and I'm grateful that you're watching my video right now. Okay, so we're going to start with the 4 corner dots. And then just lightly connect those dots. You don't have to have any kind of perfect lines. And just like a string, a border can be ignored. But we're going to start with that. Excuse me. And now I'm going to go ahead and switch to my Micron pen. And the first one that I'm going to do is Seedwayz. And I am going to put that kind of in my pen's not working right, kind of an arc. So it's gonna curve just a little bit. And then I'm gonna come down here, do the same thing. You can just straight across. And then I'm gonna R those. Okay. Now with Seedwayz, excuse me, you start with these little seeds that go down the center. And so just kind of a oval type seed. And then, about that far between them. And then we fill them in. I guess if I put my pen in there, it would be about the width of the barrel, a little bit less between those. And mine are not exactly the same. Doesn't matter. Kind of reminds me of the end of a belt. All the little holes in it. And we'll go ahead and put one more down here. And oops, sorry, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, So the next step is, as you can see here, we're going to go across the top of that and then just come down. In Zentangle speak, they call that takeoff and land. So I'm going to take off from the top of this and land on that border. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn my tile, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It is a little bit cold and raining and wet here today in the Houston, Texas area. Of course, when I say cool, anything below 70 degrees makes me shiver. So it's a little bit cool to me today. Okay, so the next step is we're going to aura these. Today is our farmers market day, and my daughter has a booth there. Unfortunately, there may not be much of a crowd to purchase her plants. But I'm happy that they have the market, rain or shine. Okay, so we are putting the aura on the other side. Okay, going to line there. All right, so this is the basic way to do the pattern. And for extra, which I like to add, we're going to fill in that little corner and then put an aura around that. So we're going to do that on each of these. You can do it with or without this. As with any pattern, it's a way to inspire you to draw, and you can make it your own. I'm really grateful for so many people who come up with these beautiful patterns and share the steps with us. Okay, I'm going to turn and do that on the other side. So this is a pattern that is new to me. I've enjoyed playing with it. Oops. Okay. So fill in that little corner and then put an aura around it. Okay. So, okay. It'll be even better when we shade it. All right, so up here on top, I'm going to do this one called Veerap, and it starts with the little half moon there in the center. So the center's about there. I'm going to put that above it. And I'm going to put this little thing in there just to remind me that I want to leave like a sparkle on top. And then fill in the rest. You could fill it in and then just come back with a white jelly roll if you want to put a sparkle on there. Okay. So the Veerap is made with lots of little long V's to begin with, and I'll show you how that works. If you wanted to, you could put kind of a little guide for how you want your flower to be. Can be kind of helpful. Okay, so just a very light pencil guide. You don't have to do that. So we're just going to make these tall, skinny V's. Okay. And then move over as far as you want to. You can put as many or as few as you would like. So we're going to do this V again. Move over a little bit. Do it again. And then I'm not going to put one on that side. And come back to this side. And another one. Let's see, that's kind of far, so I'm going to put it on this side. I don't want to get it. I want to have it about the same distance. So this one. Come back down. Let's do one more. Okay. So that's why we have Veerap in the name, because you have a lot of tall V's. And then the next thing we're going to do, and I'm going to start on this one, but we're going to put a straight line, and then we're going to put a curve straight across on your V, and then a curve straight, curve, straight across, and then just keep going like that. And then we're just going to bring that one down to here. And then on this side, we're just going to go like that. Okay, so that's the basics of Veerap. I'm going to remove my guideline. Okay, this is a kneaded eraser, and I just tend to leave it kind of in a roll, and that way I can put it in my pencil jar. Okay, so for this one, since we have this dark part here, I am going to add just a little bit of black here, and then skip and then go down to the center. So it adds a little drama to this flower. And then scoot over. And I'm not trying to make these have a perfect edge. I want it to be kind of rough like that. I think it looks good that way. And then fill in the rest. Okay. We're just going to continue going across like that. Fill those in. If you look at the step outs for this, she has a lot of awesome variations of ways to do these petals that are really cool. But this is the basic way that she does the pattern. Okay. So the other thing that you can do if you want is you could add orbs up here. You could add an aura. I think I'm going to go ahead and just put an aura here. And again, make this your art. Decide if you want to have the aura and add it or not. I know I've mentioned many times I love going to the Mosaic app and Instagram and Facebook and looking at how people have done their patterns and get inspiration. That's why we share. Okay. Fill that in just a little bit more. Okay, so the next one is going to be garlic cloves. And if you like line meditations, this is a good one to just fill in your whole tile with it if you want. And in the step outs, she puts dots down all over. And then she starts putting the garlic cloves in between like that. And it's just a lot of auras. Okay. And then you connect another dot and add your auras. And then if it goes behind, then you just do your little clove as if it were going behind. Okay. But I like to just draw a line. And I don't necessarily start with those dots. So you pick the way that works for you. And then just make it as thick as you would like. And then add another line. And then just add auras on each side. Just take your time. Add another line, and it could be longer. You can make it about the same length. I'm going to add another line in between. There we go. Okay, so just keep adding your lines on each side until you have it as thick as you want. I'm going to connect these two. And start adding my arms. Now in the center, this little garlic clove is going behind these others. Okay. I can connect these two. And when I get it kind of thick, I'm putting another little line in between. I want to keep them kind of small as far as the distance between the lines. And that's just my preference. Okay. Add another line. And what I'm saying is if I go out kind of wide like that, I'll come back and put a line in between. I really like how this pattern looks when you use it to fill in a space. Okay, so here's my pencil border that I drew, and you don't have to stay within the lines. Okay, I'm going to connect these two. It's hard to believe it's almost the end of April. Okay, I'm going to go this way and add one here. And we're just going to keep going until we get this filled the way that we want it. Okay, let's pretend that one goes down this way. And then we're just going to add a few lines across here to fill this in. And I just went ahead and filled that part in. Okay. That's part of my, well, I'm not sure what to do. So what if I just add some lines in there? There are no rules. It's not a contest. We're not trying to make a perfect tile. Just enjoy your art time. I did art when I was in high school and enjoyed it, but really didn't have confidence in what I was doing. And then when I found Zentangle, I was so happy to feel like I was an artist again. Okay, so I'm pretending that this one meets up at the back behind those. So yours is not going to look just like mine, and that's perfectly fine. Let's connect these two. And if you want yours to be more random, then go ahead and start the way that I said before, where you have the dots that you're connecting. I'm going to take this one down this way. Okay. And one thing you can do when you get to this point is you could fill that in just all black. But I'm just going to put another line in there. Okay, let's bring this one down. Again, there's no right or wrong. Doesn't have to be a certain length or width. Let's bring one down this way. So just keep going. Again, I've gone on the outside of that border, and that's okay. The strings and the borders are just a suggestion. Okay, let's do something on this side. And then connect these. Okay, and then I'm going to connect these two. Let's connect these. This one's going to be little. All right. Connect these two. It's like connect the dots, but we didn't add the dots. Okay. Here, let's just add a little something there to fill in that corner. All right, so just a little bit to go. Okay. Do one here. Okay, we're going to connect these two. Bring this out just a little bit more. Let's connect this corner. Try to just let this one keep going. Okay. So there we go. Now for shading. So let's start on this one. I'm going to add a little bit of graphite between each one of these at the bottom. And then I'm going to add just a little bit at the top of each petal to kind of match what we did in between. And it'll make it look like the flower is kind of bent over. Just very lightly. Okay. And then taking my blending stump, we're just going to gently pull that up toward where we have this highlight, but we're not going to take it all the way. We just want it to gradually move up. So just very softly push that up. Okay. And then we're just going to do the same thing at the top. We're going to soften that and pull it down just a little bit. Okay. Or the ribbon here, Seedwayz. I'm going to start by putting graphite just inside this first line. And I try to not put graphite on top of where I've drawn in black because it kind of dulls it. Okay, so just a little bit between each one of these. And then where this looks like it goes under this part, we're going to add just a little bit of graphite between those. Okay. So now we're going to take our blending stump and just soften that. You can make that a little bit darker if you want. I tend to always be kind of light on my shading, and that's okay. So now in between each one of these, okay, that really makes a difference when you add the shading. Not cool? All right, so down here, I'm going to go ahead and put some graphite all the way across. And then where each of these meet, I'm just going to add some shading. And if one is going over another one, I'm going to add a little bit of shading there also. So for each tip, I'm adding a little bit of graphite. And where it goes over another one, I'm adding some. Like I said, you could add heavier shading graphite. If you watch the project packs, I can't remember if it's Molly or Martha, likes to add a lot of shading, and her work is just beautiful. Okay, and I'm just going ahead and adding this wherever it needs it. That one goes over. That one goes over this one. And if you don't want to add shading, that's good too. That's fine. This is your work. I have a lady named Polly in Arizona who doesn't like to add shading. She adds color instead, and her work is just gorgeous. So, like I said, make this yours. I love to see what Polly does after I do a video, because mine are usually in black and white, and hers come out in living color. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're just softening between each of these areas where we added the graphite. Okay, so we put it all the way across this edge. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then soften each of these. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking to add a little bit of highlights to this. And there are probably a few places like that that I didn't add the graphite. There's enough on my blending stump now that I don't need to go back and add anymore. Again, with my channel, I'm not trying to achieve perfection. I just want to enjoy what I'm doing, one line and one tile at a time. All right, there you go. Go back and touch up any parts that you want, and work on it until you're happy with it. Make it yours. All right. I think that's cool. I wasn't sure what I was going to do today, and then I looked at some practice tiles that I had done and decided that maybe you'd enjoy this. But I know I'm going to do some floral patterns again. Okay, so I'm just kind of touching this up where I think I need it. All right, add your chop. I'm going to put mine down in this corner. And one thing to keep in mind, if you don't necessarily feel great about your work, one thing you can do is hold it out at arm's length and look at it again, or just put it down and come back in 5 minutes, or come back later that day or the next day and look at it again. That works for me a lot. And it's very often I've done that and thought, did I do that? Yes, you did. All right. So there we go. I would encourage you to put the names of these patterns on the back of your tile, sign it, date it, and that way when you come back, you'll be able to find the names and the step outs and do it again. All right, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave comments, please add a like and subscribe. It does help support my channel, and it helps other people to find my channel also. Thanks. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.